Let me start from the beginning. Growing up, having coming from like a broken home, I want to say, mom and dad not necessarily together, bouncing back between houses, getting to a point where I'm dealing with a lot. I felt like I needed an outlet. Always growing up listening to music, exposed to different types of music. Music became that thing for me. I started out producing, and then I got into a place where I could, I guess, poetry and verbally just express myself. And since then, it's been kind of just really and truly like therapy for me.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Meta Transitions. Today, we have with us Tobias. He goes by name Tobias as an artist. Today, Tobias is going to share with us a little bit about his journey and how he became an artist. Welcome to our show, Tobias.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
no
Be here,
problem.
man.
We're happy to have you. So, Tobias, let's get into it. Tell us, what is your story? How did you get to where you are?
I think let me start from the beginning. Growing up, having coming from like a broken home, I want to say, mom and dad not necessarily together, bouncing back between houses, where getting to a point where I'm dealing with a lot as youth. I felt like I needed an outlet. And always growing up listening to music, exposed to different types of music. Music became that thing for me. I started out producing, and then I got into a place where I could, I guess, poetry and verbally just express myself. And since then, it's been kind of just really and truly like therapy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So it sounds like, you came from a broken home. You came from, a space where, there was a lot of negativity in your childhood, and you needed coping mechanisms, so ways that you could cope within that space. And music, it sounds like, became your outlet. So music, writing, so poetry, and also sort of producing music as well. So
Yeah.
threefold, right? So it sounds like very creative, and lots of creativity came out of that space. So tell us a little bit more about what producing is, for some of the people listening who may not know what that is. Yeah.
So producing would be like the beat. So like you like a favorite song, whatever that song sounds like, that's the production behind it. So I kind of got into that, and I felt like I could be really, really creative. So that was like a creative outlet for me to learn. I got into that around, I want to say grade nine, grade 10 in high school, or maybe I would say maybe actually possibly grade eight. And then in grade 10 is when I started to take the production side a little bit more serious. So I used a program called Fruity Loops. That's what I use today as well. Fruity Loops is like a software where you can just like put together a beat. It's like you create a pattern.
Yeah.
I would definitely need a diagram to show those, but search up Fruity Loops. Fruity Loops is amazing. Pretty much using that to just create and make what I thought and felt. How I felt was what I made, essentially. So if I felt like a little angry, like I would probably get a dark sounding beat. If I felt like upbeat, I would make a more upbeat sounding production. And from then it just transitioned to sending beats to artists, or not even artists, just more so like friends growing up, like who wanted to rap kind of thing. Just getting them involved, and wow, this sounds good. Their vocals on the beat. It's like wow, this is great. And then I'm like, wait a minute, could I do this? Kind of thing. And then just really getting into. I've always like wrote raps or wrote poetry, I would say. But I don't know, I was kind of nervous to jump in. And around 2009, 2010, I really decided to just really jump on music like full time and really just expressing like all my feelings. And I was like, wow, all this time. Like, imagine if I started, you know what I mean, back then.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, it would have just been amazing. So, since then, just been pushing.
I can imagine. Yeah, no, and tell us more about, what the music did for you. So, you've told us that, you're in a space where you needed to get an outlet and music became that outlet for you, that coping mechanism. So once you introduced music into your life, you started producing, you started writing poetry, and now you started, becoming an artist, I guess, as yourself. What did that do in your life? What changes started to take place?
So I would say a lot of more being okay with things that weren't okay. Like growing up, you might see, I don't know, let's say I'm going outside and I'm seeing violence. So being able to speak on that in song format allowed an outlet, so it's not it's impacting me, but it's not sitting with me in a way where it's becoming a buildup and then I'm feeling like I just can't, because the world is in such a crazy place, and it's been in a crazy place since we've all walked in. It's crazy. So being able to really get that out, and whether it be like childhood trauma or heartbreak or God or whatever the issue or idea or thing at hand, being able to express that in song has really, like I said before, it's really just been therapy for me. And it's really allowing me to express things that I might even not be so comfortable to speak on, even just like this in an interview. But I'll leave it in a song, and then you can sit with it, and however you might feel, it is what it is, but it's out. And it's just it's been the most effective outlet for me personally in my life.
Okay, so it's giving you a voice. It's giving you an opportunity to share sort of the deep emotions that, come to you in times when, I guess the world is just going awry for you, whether it's sort of, culture or whether it's sort of personal, right? It's a way, instead of you keeping sort of all those emotions inside, you externalize it through music, and it gives you an opportunity to breathe and be more relaxed. Yeah. And by sharing that, you've created a source of income for yourself. You recognize that by this outlet was not just something that you could keep to yourself. It now became a way that you can share a message with other people. And so how did that sort of come about, this idea of sharing a message and, producing these songs that you've started to produce recently?
I want to say when I got into music, I always had a belief in God. But I think around 2012, 2013 is when I really kind of gave my life to Christ. And from then, I kind of stepped back from music, actually, not fully aware of how I could express what I was feeling or going through without... I don't know, I guess not being true to myself. And so once I was clear about my direction and the content that I wanted to share, I felt like that was the moment. It was, I can speak on this new relationship I have with God in a way that's honest, real, and, truthful to myself. And since then, I've just committed to, if I'm going to do music, I'm going to do music that's going to point to God. And it's been a journey. Music has its ups and downs, as always. It's not like the easiest cakewalk, but I can say that as a person who has experienced different life things, it's been the most helpful. Along, like if I didn't have music, I don't necessarily know if I would be. I don't know if we would be having this interview.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Genuinely.
I hear you. It's like a lifesaver, right? It
Yeah,
saved your life
yeah,
multiple times.
yeah.
No, I completely hear that, and that idea of, you know, channeling God in your music, sort of, wanting to keep it positive and to share a message, with others out there. I could see that that's a valuable thing for you. And
Yeah.
it sort of made it something that is not just selfish. It's very much, wanting it to be something that's going to help to change lives like it's changed your life.
Yeah, and as you speak on that, it's like I remember when I first like got really serious about my faith. Um, I remember I can't remember the name of the song, but I remember the individual emailing me, or was it a D? I don't know how I got. They messaged on some format. I got a message from like a listener, and they expressed to me like whatever the song was, they listened to it, and it helped them like get through whatever difficult situation. And I was like, wow, like you know what I mean? That very just life changing. Like wow, I'm really just expressing how I feel, not even realizing it can really impact somebody and help them get through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get through this life. It's kind of just been like, so I
Mm-hmm.
vowed to just commit to that. Like that is what keeps me going. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm hearing that humility that you're talking about, because it started from a place of wanting to be able to express yourself, be able to sort of just share what's going on for you, in a way that's going to edify God in a sense.
100%.
And then by just sharing that, you recognize that it's impacting people in a positive way.
Yeah.
And I can see how that would be motivating for you to want to continue in that vein, right? To continue to share positivity.
100%. 100%.
Definitely. All right. So, Tobias, tell me about your new album, Fail Big, and also tell people where they can find it, so they can support you too.
All right. First and foremost, Fail Big is on all platforms. Anything you listen to music on, it is available. YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, uh, Amazon, whatever platform you listen to music, it's there. It'd be you search me up, name Tobias, Fail Big, all social media at named Tobias, NAMEDTOBIAS. Yeah, Fail Big. I actually had an idea of kind of three projects
Yeah.
that I've released, I guess, in the span of like, I want to say 4 or 5 years, where it was Plan to Fail, Fall Forward, and this is the final one, Fail Big.
Got it.
And I really just wanted to speak on failure, literally. And I think people look at failure as a stumbling block or something that they never want to experience. And I think without failure, we don't grow. Without failure, we don't get to the level we're supposed to get to. You know what I mean? So I really wanted to kind of change the trajectory of what failure means and switch it with faith. You know what I mean? You're going to go through issues. You're going to go through trials. You're going to go through struggles. But be encouraged. Like once you get over that hurdle, you're at a new level. You're in a new space. So yeah, pretty much Fail Big is the kind of the summary of all three of those projects, where it's just like, go for it. Like if you're going to do something, whatever it is in life you're going to do, like go hard for it. Do what you got to do. Trust God. And if you fail, like I would rather fail knowing I went all in than not even doing it and not even seeing what it may have come of that. So Fail Big is just to, if you're going to do it, just do it big. And if you're going to fail, fail big. You know what I mean? Shoot for the stars. And you may miss the star that you're shooting for, but you'll land somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the goal. That's really the whole idea of the project, is just to, you're going to fail. Failure is inevitable. Any what are those any motivational speakers, and they'll tell you that if you listen to these guys, every single individual fails. And I think we as people deem and idol certain people, thinking, oh, they're just there and they're just amazing. And it's like, it takes work. It takes failures. It takes starting from scratch again. It takes, you know what I mean? All of those types of challenges to really get to where you're at. So it's really just an encouragement on that.
Literally. Nice. I really like that message. I really like that message because, you know, it's sort of destigmatizing, you know, the idea that failure isn't something that I should embrace, right? So it's sort of this idea that we need to fail to get to this new level, like leveling up in a game, right?
Literally. Yeah, think about that Super Mario game where you're trying to beat that level and you fail. You fail thousands and thousands of times. But once you get to that next level, it's worth it. And then you're willing to fail on this next level in order to get to the next level. So
exactly.
You know what I mean? It's essential to growth.
Definitely like that. So fail big. If you're gonna fail, just fail big because failure is essential to growth. Love that message for sure. Thank you for being with us, Tobias, and for sharing your message. You know, we're happy to, you know, contribute in any way that we can and to support you in any way that we can. So everyone, you heard this great message from Tobias. We will put all of the information where you can find his new album, Fail Big, in our description below. So thank you for being with us. Until next time.
Blessings. Fail big.
Yes.